Hello and welcome to the Round 10 review. Carlton Collingwood at the MCG, Sunday, 3:20. And the Pies got the job done. 13 goals, 7, 85 to 7 goals, 15, 57. I could probably just have uploaded at least 22 of the reviews that I've done in the last 5 years, and it would probably sound the same. The worst part about this one is that we're in the future from what we were for those previous reviews. So you would expect there to be a level of improvement, but it's really the same story. Yesterday was awful. Painful, disappointing, frustrating, all of the above. And there were so many different elements to yesterday that I absorbed to try and make sense of it all, but it doesn't make sense. The build up to the game, I went into the game with this idea that we've struggled, it happens, footy it's a long season, you go through your down patches, you go through your upward patches, and as frustrated as we all were about what's happened over the last 5 to 6 weeks, Collingwood was a chance to not atone, but just start something. I genuinely believed we were going to win the game. I genuinely believed we were going to win the game. I genuinely believed we were capable of winning the game. And it wasn't to take anything away from Collingwood, but just trying to absorb the rhetoric from our supporters, from the Collingwood supporters. A lot of the Collingwood supporters before the game yesterday that I spoke to said, we're kind of due for a loss, and it wouldn't surprise me if you got up today. And, we'd been smashed in the media. Everyone's taken their turn to say their piece about Carlton. I went and got a coffee in the morning. I read the article from Mick Malthouse. The paper it was poetic. The paper was sitting on top of the table, and I was waiting for my coffee, and the page was already open to the Mick Malthouse article, and I read it, and I was like, oh, fuck, all right, well, he's going in. Mick wants his turn. And the last sentence really, really got me, because it said something to the effect of, Carlton will learn on Sunday about leadership. And I read it, I'm like, nah, Mick's just a senile old man who's waited his turn to say his piece. He's waited for game day, and that was that. And that gave me more fuel to believe we were going to win. Because generally with this team, over the years, when they've been really focused on in a negative way by the mainstream media, that there seems to be some sort of a response from them, whether we win or lose. But there seems to be some sort of an emotional response. Had that sick feeling returning to the MCG, knowing that that's where the scene of the crime was, round 23 last year. And all the elements, I thought, all the elements were there for the boys to find a little bit extra and just kickstart something, find a spark and start something and get the season going and find some momentum. Walk into the MCG, up and about. I was charging as I walked in. It was like an out-of-body experience. I zoned in, got really serious. I was like, fuck, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for the boys. I'm ready for the team to just turn it on today. And it just never came. It never did. Not at any point. The excitement and the confidence and all of that I had been feeling throughout the week, I was getting annoyed at people that were telling me, nah, we're going to lose. It's over. Because I'm like, well, it hasn't happened yet, so let's just wait. I was fired up. I'm looking for something to get excited about it. I'm looking for something to latch onto. And then literally within the first 5 minutes, you just saw it writing on the wall. Unbelievable. I noticed there wasn't as many people in the crowd as what I thought there would be. It was billed as a sellout, and tickets were exhausted and all of that. But I was sitting in my reserve seat. The 10 of the 20 seats in front of me were empty. I met some people next to me, 3 of them, lovely people. They didn't seem too excited. Kind of like me. It was kind of like we were there waiting for the inevitability of that sinking feeling to come, and then, rinse and repeat. And then we start the game, and it begins. Bobby Hill, unmarked, running into open goal. Too much space given, goal. Okay, all right, just get that one out of the way and we start. Then we start. Harry Mackay, mark, drop punt, goal. Great. Crowd up and about. You need something early in the game to latch onto as a fan. And we got behind him. The jitters weren't there like they were last week. And I thought that might have been one of the few positives of the day. Like, the crowd got behind him. He went back. He almost probably would usually snap that shot, but he went back. Drop punt, beautiful kick. On you, Harry. Well done. Great stuff. All right, he's on the board. His confidence is up. He just needed a goal early just to see the ball going through the big sticks. Again, these theories. So that's awesome that happens. Then a series of unfortunate events again in the first quarter. We didn't really challenge Collingwood. We made it easy for them. Let me just run you through them. Next play after the Harry goal. Lewis Young falls over. Ash Johnson, mark, goal. All right, unlucky. He slipped over. All right, unlucky. We give away a 50-metre penalty for another goal. Boom. The sinking feeling comes a lot quicker now when you see these moments. You pick them out one by one, and they're all the signs of a team that's not ready to win the game. Breakaway from stoppage. Collingwood looked beautiful. My check on the lead. Goal. Fuck. It's happening. You're watching it. It's happening. We're 10 minutes into the first quarter, and you're watching it happen. They're picking us apart. Lewis Young, pinged, holding the ball. 50-50 call. Whatever. It didn't go our way. Pendlebury, goal. Moment. Big moment. Next one. Tom Mitchell, stoppage goal in our defensive 50. Bang. McGovern, handballs behind Wiedering, turnover. Then you started seeing our leaders and our better players just not have the ability to be clean in moments. There was a missed kick from Akers on the wing to Walsh. It was a little too short, fell to the ground. A mark wasn't paid. He handballs out, spillage to Cripps. A ground ball which 9 times out of 10, he's clean in that situation. Fumbles. We're dead. I wrote it in the first quarter. We're dead. 14-13 inside 50s in the first quarter to Carlton for 1 goal 2 to 5 goal 2. I actually stopped taking notes about 5 minutes into the second quarter. Lewis Young was outmarked by Mason Cox. Luckily, Cox missed. Charlie gets a 50-metre penalty and a goal. Always kicks a goal. I'm like, oh, okay. A little something, a little nothing, a lot of nothing. Here we are yet again. It was Collingwood. It was Collingwood. Does that even mean anything? I think I said that exact sentence maybe after round 2, 2021. I remember saying it. Does that even mean anything to them? It's a world of pain right now. It seems like an infinite world of pain and an infinite cycle of disappointment. Like, I can kind of understand your ball use might not be very good for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, but it's a recurring theme. Like, this is not... we're talking about execution of skills at the basic level. I'm so lost. I'm so lost with what to say and think and talk about with this team. And I don't know, I won't know, none of us will know what yesterday meant in the grand scheme of everything. But yeah, to watch that again, to watch supporters leave before halftime. Oh my God. The 3 that were sitting next to me left just before halftime. They'd had enough. And I don't blame anyone for leaving before halftime, turning the TV off at quarter time. I don't blame anyone anymore. What are you going to do? Were you going to lash out at supporters because they're fed up? At least it's a statement. It's khalia. That's what it is. It's a mess, mate. It's a mess. Their skills and their ball use and their decision making is a mess. We made it easy for Collingwood. I don't even think Collingwood played close to their best football. I don't think we asked the question of Collingwood in that game. On the fan cams afterwards, spoke to Pommy. He was telling me that 12 of them didn't lay a tackle up until halftime. Imagine saying that. They did that in 2021 against the GWS Giants. That was one of the worst experiences of my life. And then, it's Collingwood. It's Collingwood. And I'm the idiot because I'm the one that thinks it's Collingwood and that means something more than any other game. I'm the idiot that thinks that. After halftime, I just started absorbing as much as I could what I was seeing in the crowd, things I was hearing from people. Wasn't able to stay in the moment. Mind went everywhere else but the game. I was watching, but I was not present. I was thinking about everything else because I knew what the result would be. There was no way we were winning that game. I lost hope. And yesterday was the final chance I was giving them to latch onto something for the year. Now, is the season dead? Mathematically, no, but been watching this team for a lot of my life. Been covering it every single week for 5 years. And what I feel right now is a not dissimilar feeling to 2021, where there weren't many enjoyable games in that year. There was the Freo game that year where Harry kicked 7, and there was the Bombers game later in the year. That was a really good day out. But the rest was painful. The wins were painful. They weren't convincing. The losses seemed to get worse every time there was a relatively good side that we were playing against. And so right now, at the end of round 10, it feels a little bit like 2021. Watching people leave at halftime broke my heart. I was like, wow. I keep seeing things that I haven't seen before. I keep hearing things that I haven't heard before. I'm unsure whether the pain... this is just a difficult time. These are the hard times, again. And it's painful. And I made comment last week around, is it painful because that's growth? Are we just implementing this new way of playing and it's painful right now because they're just unable to figure it out? Do they believe in the game plan? But the part around them having no soul is the one that gets me the most. No soul. We are soulless right now. It boiled over. Vossi, animated, emotional. I kind of like to see it, to be honest. He seems fed up. The players are fed up. I saw acceptance again. I saw going through the motions again. I saw slow decision making again. There was a symbolic moment of yesterday among many. I think Wiedering took an intercept mark and I was like, wow, well done, Jacob. That's it. Just build off that. Goes back a little slow, lowers his eyes, kicks it right in front of me, turnover. And it's like, that's us. It's the almost play, like, okay, that's good, well done. And then you undo your work with the poor kick or just a decision that probably could have been made in a better way. Saw a guy leave halfway through the third quarter and I heard him, under his breath just saying, fuck this club. He was alone. And he said, fuck this club. Half time, they roll out Matthew Cruiser. With respect, he doesn't speak very well about things. Not many of them do. I don't know. I guess similar to last week, I was frustrated at halftime and everything coming from the club was annoying me more. But Cruiser just going through the motions with what he said. I don't actually know what he said. He said a lot of words, but none of it really made sense. It was all very robotic. And then it was kind of like a symbol. Like, okay, love Cruz as a player. Love the way he went about it. Loved his story. Very unlucky with injury, all of that. Like, there is a love and a connection to Cruz. But what's he providing in that halftime address? What am I getting from that as a fan? Like, what is the purpose of that? Walking out after the siren, I heard a couple of guys that were behind me. One of them was like, "Oh, I need a beanie," and his mate turned around and said, "Don't give any more money to this club." That was good. That was a good one. And yeah, we give our time and our energy and we wait in hope of better times and we still don't see it. And this isn't just about Collingwood yesterday. It's about the whole thing. I don't recall being this lost about the team. 2021 was a big one in terms of being lost. I'm grateful to be at the football. I'm obviously grateful for all of it. But yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired of it. It's emotionally exhausting. And I find myself I have to step back a bit. How can I care as much? How can I? It's not good for the health. It's not good for my health caring like this. So I have to almost take a bit of a step back. I post things on Instagram and here on YouTube, and I almost post and then I just swipe out. I can't look at it too much. I can't read it too much. But it's important because it's greater than me and it's greater than us. It's a documentation for the history of the club. And I'm not suggesting that it's going to stop, but it's painful. And I don't even know what to salvage for the rest of the year. I'm talking like it's dead, which it might be. But yeah, I mentioned the death that I felt in the Brisbane game and I couldn't quantify it. It's feeling like that again. On the one hand, I'm thinking, don't these guys have pride in their performance, in their execution? Because the fundamental skill errors in the decision making and putting your teammates in situations that are not to their advantage consistently. I'm like, doesn't that improve as you continue to make those mistakes? They're definitely watching the footage during the week when they're doing their review. They have to be. Can you imagine being a player and watching the same mistakes week after week on the screen in front of your teammates? Because I would imagine that's part of the process of the review of what they do every week. You look your teammates in the eyes, you fire each other up before the game, you make promises to each other, and you just continue to not keep them. So on the one hand, I'm like it's going to improve. And then on the other hand, the word apathy started to come up over the last few weeks. It gets louder and louder as a term, as a word. There's disconnect. It's all fucked, mate. It's all fucked. Yeah. So they go to Sydney on Friday night and we'll see what happens. That's it. Player of the game. This was another part. Like, who was our best performed player on the day? I landed on Sam Doherty because I thought he just continued to will himself to keep going. Made some errors. A lot of them did. They all did. But I thought Doc was probably a standout in that game. Thought Chera played a pretty good game. But like, what are we? I'm singling out like probably 4 of them that you probably look at and you say, okay, well done. Yeah. When's it going to end? When is it going to end? When is it going to get better? When is it going to improve? When are we going to stop saying we need to get better? And when are we going to get better? That's my question. Let me know what you think in the comments. Love you all. Go Blues.
Bang!